everybody, my name is Griff. I am here today bringing you a video on the newest banner, the Gala remix. I took the last week off from making videos, just working through my own personal life, but I am back now for a very special banner. One banner that I think I'm gonna end up regret summoning on. So, as you can see on your screen here, and as you can see if you've been playing the event, you already know who's on this banner, you already know who's part of this event. We have a Gala remix featuring Undercover Grace and Farron, and from the Gala pools, we have Gala Mascula and Gala Thor. Now, I want to preface this by saying that both the new adventures are not limited. And additionally from that, Anniversary is in just about 2 weeks from today, from when this video is going up. So it's a hot time. It's a good time to save. However, me as the channel, I've main dagger units, and Farron is adorable, and I'm gonna kind of throw a little caution to the wind and try to get him, hopefully. So look forward to a summoning video coming out at some point, but before we do that, we have to discuss the units themselves. So, firstly, as part of this, we have Undercover Grace. The sword serves as proof of my promise to him. So we have her as a flame sword unit, and the cool thing about this unit, the cool thing about her, is that basically her first skill works on this soul deprivation, where you can see here, deals damage to enemies and reduces their strength. You see it does about 2k for 3k SP and reduces their strength. However, on her first passive ability, she is granted a soul seal whenever she hits an enemy with one of these abilities, with her first ability rather. And as you can see here, each of these go up. So it says increases damage dealt by the user by 10%, then 15, then 20, then 80%, but the user will take equal to 2 damage of their maximum HP for every attack. So essentially, she's going to want to stack this up to 4. And then you're going to say, okay, there's an HP buff, there's damage on this. Well, how do I get rid of that? Well, if you look at her second ability, Flame Tongue Unbound deals damage to multiple targets and enemies near those targets and grants them a defense amp. The skill can only be used if the user has at least one soul seal, and using it will consume all soul seals, dealing hits and granting amps equal to the number of soul seals consumed. So basically this does 1k damage, and it gives you a defense amp per seal. So if you do this when you have 4 seals, you'll immediately get 4 defense amps, which will put you at Team Defense Amp 1, Personal Amp 1, and then on top of that, you would be doing about 4k damage on this, plus the 80% damage modifier that you're getting from the passive effect. So basically, the way that this unit really plays is she really wants to stack this damage as much as she can, and optimally, you're actually not going to use your skill 2 very often, because especially in the flame meta where flame is so stacked, it's really easy to get heals, and 2% of HP per hit isn't really that much. It can be really healed easily, and you really want that 80% damage on her first skill, because her first skill, given that 80% buff, is doing almost as much as her second skill would be doing in its base form, and you can get it up much quicker. In fact, you can get it up twice as fast. It literally has half the SP cost. This first skill is shareable, and it's a good shared skill for reducing strength. It doesn't have much cost, and I guess it has a decent damage modifier. I don't think that's really a huge point of interest, but if you don't have a shared skill that reduces strength, that is something that you could be looking towards. Her co-ability is the normal Dragon Haste, and then her chain co-ability is HP below 40% equals strength, and then her other 2 abilities here are Stun Res, and then Team Defense Amp equals regen, gradually recovers user HP when they have a Team Defense Amp. This is about 3%, I believe, per tick, not per attack, so if you're even having this, it will negate this effect here. Per tick, but not for attack. So if you're attacking faster than a tick, which most characters can, it is going to be a bit of a negative situation for your health. But again, as I said, you can have healers, you can have other things in the meta. From this, I don't know if she would be a reason to summon other than waifu. Flame is so ridiculously stacked at this point that I don't think this unit offers a lot in terms of utility. She doesn't really have much other than her own amp system and the reduced strength. It's possible you could fit her in as a backliner, and as far as I'm aware, she has custom AI for when she's a backliner. It's possible that you could use her as an amp bot. It's possible that you could use her as a strength defibrillator. But she's cool, and she is a better flame sword in Curse of Nihility than most of the units present, other than probably uh, Naveed, I believe. I believe he might be better in some cases, but she does have a lot of utility to her, especially if you're going for amping and you really want to stack amps in that content. So, unique, I'd say she's kind of like a newer version of Crom. She kind of would probably play similar to him if I was to get her. But she is a bit different. So I do think that there is potential for this unit. But it's kind of stacked up against Flame, and Flame units in 2021 going into 2022 have to really do a lot to, be on the same level as some of the even more basic Flame units, that have been in the game since day one, compared to units that are just coming out now or just came out last year, like Leon or Kimono Elisan, where those kinds of things are just outdoing them. So there's a lot of things that a Flame unit has to do to be really meta defining and be really worth like investing in a week before or 2 weeks before anniversary. But yeah, I think that she is decent. And then we have Farron. Now, Farron is a light dagger unit. As I said at the start of this video, I have a fixation, an affiliation, an appreciation for dagger units. Farron is no different. I love the story about him, and I will be making a video going on it. He was absolutely adorable. He was absolutely heartfelt in his convictions. A little dense-headed, a little Eden moments, but nothing too bad. And Farron is a Dragon Drive unit. So let's just go straight to his Dragon Drive before we look at the other two things. Basically, Worm Sigil Cell 2 grants the user Dragon Drive game and changes the Shapeshift button into a Dragon Drive button. Tapping this button activates the Dragon Drive. Dragon Drive grants the following effects. User standard attacks and force strikes are changed. Their damage is increased as the user's HP increases, and they fill the user's Dragon Drive gauge if they connect. And then additionally, they have an additional defense up by 20%. And essentially, the way this unit works is he is kind of the opposite of Belina. So you'll see here, deals damage directly to the head, grants user a defense amp, and partially fills the user's Dragon Drive gauge. During Dragon Drive, damage will be decreased as the user's HP decreases. If I go down here, you can see at the bottom here, damage modifier is negative 90% based on reduced HP. So essentially, the lower you go, the worse your HP buff is going to get. Or rather, the more your damage is going to get. To make up for that, he has a second ability, No Host Bar, consumes the entire Dragon Drive gauge and restores HP to the user based on the amount they consumed. This will heal you 140% of your max HP, so it will always bring you to full. And then additionally, on top of that, during Dragon Drive, consume some of the Dragon Drive heals to deal damage ahead and partially fills the Dragon Drive skill. So basically, you just get a bigger hit with skill potency on that one, so you can use it again. So he's a kind of basic unit. You basically just want to keep your HP up. He has Curse Res and Right Hand Dragon 2 gradually fills Dragon Drive gauge automatically when they have a team defense amp. You kind of want to put him with some ampers like Gala Audric. I think that he's decent, but he doesn't really play into Affliction meta or into, and he doesn't really have a niche within the meta. He's kind of just damage. There's nothing wrong with that. Galaluka is kind of similar and kind of shines because of that fact. And units like this really take a while for me to fully process, fully understand how they work, understand optimization, kind of stuff like that. But even if I was to say it, I don't think I can really recommend summoning on this banner. I want to preface, do as I say, not as I do. Summoning on this banner is a bad idea for a majority of the players. I simply just want to do it because I want him, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to get him in the future. Furthermore, as we get into the old remixes, let's just quickly go to Galathor. Galathor is a pretty interesting dragon. Basically, he works off the energy mechanic, and as you get more energy, his strength gets higher. And then when you are done shapeshifting, you get energized, and then his skill works on the rapid tapping mechanic. You tap it up to fill the bars, and it does more damage and inflicts paralysis. This doesn't work in Curse of Nihility. That's why a lot of people view him as a not great dragon, because in contexts of the Curse of Nihility, he's worse than Cupid. So if you need a Curse of Nihility light dragon, wait until there's a Gala Jean rerun. Wait until Anniversary when she might be on focus. Then we have Galamascula. Galamascula is a character that works almost solely on his own attack buffs and his own like amping system and his own shield system. He's basically almost entirely standard attack damage. He does have the second part of his second skill, which does do damage across the entire field, and it also dispels. But really, this character really is about standard attacking, and he is extremely useful in endgame content because of this. A lot of people use him in Jaldabaoth, a lot of people use him in Azura, a lot of people use him in... I've seen him used in the Twins, I've seen him used in Hybrid Hoda for quicker clears. Basically anything that requires a lot of rapid hits quickly across a wide area of the map, his shared skill and him are extremely useful. So if you don't have him, that is something that you could look forward to. But again, based on history, there will be a banner that will have all the Gala units at a semi-rate up with Spark ability. And essentially what that means is that there's a chance that you could just get him at Anniversary while also getting something else. So if you don't, like, this isn't going to even be the last time this month you can get all these units. So I don't really recommend summoning on this banner so close to Anniversary. That's just how I feel about it. Let's quickly take a look at what is worm switchable on this banner. Basically just the 3 units, Galathor and Apollo. Probably Apollo to go with Undercover Grace if I had to guess. But yep, that is where I'm going to end this video. Again, I don't think it's worth summoning on in most cases, but if you really want these units, it is, you know, your choice to do something like that. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.